Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
Cloudy today, 60 the high. It is 52 downtown. So the city of Hastings has, well, I would say this is a pretty big quandary, one that will probably, and Joe, you said it is already drawing some national attention.
Yeah.
I
in
saw
a slower
this.
news time. This is probably on the nightly news, or did you? Is that where you saw it?
No, I saw it on a couple of websites, and then I went.
It's kind of everywhere now, or it's showing up everywhere now.
Yeah, and so I went to Wood and read about it. You know, they didn't have the full print story or anything, and there's another story on Wood as well. This is the first one that popped up.
Okay, this is well, it sums it all up.
A Hastings police officer is suing the chief and city leaders there. The officer, who recently discovered he's 18% black, is suing over his co-workers' reactions to his newfound ethnicity. 24-Hour News 8's Joe LaFergie is here with this story.
And Brian, this lawsuit could cost the city of Hastings a bundle, but the attorney for the officer says it's not about the money.
It all began when an ancestry research site answered a lingering question Hastings Police Sergeant Cleon Brown had about his lineage.
And when he found out he was 18% African American, was very proud of it.
But according to Brown's Detroit area attorney, not everyone at Hastings PD shared in his pride. It started in the office one day last fall. Boylan claims Chief Jeff Pratt spotted Brown.
He saw Cleon standing there and said, "Hey, Kunta," as in Kunta Kinte. And Cleon's response, incredulously, was, "I cannot believe you just called me that."
Details in the civil rights violation lawsuit filed by Brown in early April indicate things went downhill for Brown, a 19-year veteran of the force, from there. Claims of fist pumps and whispers of Black Lives Matter from fellow officers as they passed Brown. The most public evidence appeared on the Christmas tree in the lobby of the PD. Decorations including Santa figurines with the names of each officer. Brown's Santa was black with 18% written on the beard.
These are law enforcement officers. These are people who are supposed to understand cultural sensitivities.
The lawsuit names the city, Chief Jeff Pratt, Deputy Chief Dale Bolter, Sergeant Chris Miller, and City Manager Jeff Mansfield as defendants. Boylan says the defendants created a hostile work environment, that Brown was ostracized and basically frozen out. Boylan believes it's created a dangerous environment.
I don't see that any officer that has been retaliating against him is going to come to Cleon's aid.
So, if proven, what should the price tag be on the alleged misconduct? Well, Boylan says they want to force the city to provide better racial sensitivity training for officers, but she says the lawsuit can't award that, only cash. In this case, at least $500,000. Hastings City Manager says they are aware of the lawsuit, but can't comment.
Bet they can't.
Oh, nope.
Well, that's pretty complicated.
It is complicated.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, you can see, like, in a workplace environment, like if one of us came and said, "Oh, I'm such and such percentage of whatever."
Yeah.
Like I could see that becoming a running joke for a while.
Yes.
Regardless of what the ethnicity was, because we have a close
For us, and
camaraderie.
we all also have.
But you know, I mean, if they had that kind of camaraderie, but then all of a sudden he started taking it too seriously, and they weren't on board, you know what I mean? And then when somebody starts to get butthurt, you know how sometimes you kind of ramp it up,
yes,
instead of backing off. If that's what they did, like I don't think it immediately makes them like a bunch of racists. Now I wasn't there, so I don't know what the tone was. Like they might have been really mean about it. If that's the case, that's totally different.
Well, I would say if they're still doing it after he reacts to the chief of, "I can't believe you just said that," then now you are knowingly going too far. Before that, I'm willing to give you a pass as just from a judging how you
have to know the reaction.
Giving someone the benefit of the doubt that they're not, like you said, because you know they may just be joking around, like hanging out, whatever.
Right.
But once he has that reaction, you better amend your behavior fast.
Yeah, you would think so.
And it sounds like just the opposite happened.
Yeah, it sounds like they kind of ramped it up. You got a lot of testosterone there.
It's hard for me to compare it's hard for me to compare this to us.
We do a million things that would violate workplace rules.
It's a lot different here.
You know.
Like, do we do any of this to other coworkers? And I know we have. And I know said Ethan's pleats were stupid.
How about Dave Kim?
But he was
of Korean descent. His parents came here from Korea.
Yeah.
he laughed. He started making those jokes, but we piled on. If he had quietly gotten offended at some point, and then we were too dumb to pick up on it, or thought too much of ourselves and kept running him over.
Oh,
that's the same thing,
and that's why
we're not a police force. That is a whole different wrinkle in the whole thing.
No, but like the argument about these are people who are supposed to be protecting us. Like I never really like that argument because just because they might be butts behind closed doors to one another, doesn't mean that they can't interact with the public. Like one doesn't mean the other. So I never really like that argument because we act very different amongst ourselves or on the air than we do in the hallways or at home or just like, if I run into just a random person at the store. I'm not going to say to them in person what I would if it was a bad phone caller. So totally different. I mean?
Oh, yeah.
100 million times different.
Hot Wings at the grocery store to the person writing a check. Don't ever come here again. Your story is stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great story.
That would be excellent.
Talk longer next time.
That would be great.
How's bragging camp going?
Is there a discernible point to you being in this line?
Yeah, so I would, it is just totally different. And you're right. But, if somebody like Dave had, decided, I'm just going to start taking notes and I'm not going to let them know that I'm upset about this and then all of a sudden went after us.
Yeah.
You go, oh my God. Well,
no, that's
on paper, that all looks terrible.
That's not saying that this guy didn't let them know. It appears that he did.
If he did.
But it's hard. But it's so hard to say because the person who makes the claim, you always assume that they must have told everybody, or that they
because he said he
or
did.
that they think they communicated it well, but maybe they didn't. And it's so. I mean, you got to leave that up to the courts. I don't know, but I'm just saying it's not necessarily always as bad as it may seem.
But it is for sure a mess for Hastings.
It's definitely a mess. It is going to be a huge
regardless
mess.
of
especially for the individuals.
All that
named
being
in the suit.
being said, man, I sure miss Dave Kim and making fun of him.
I do too.
Because now it doesn't make any sense. He's been gone too long.
I miss him making fun of him.
Well, yeah,
I do too.
He was his Twitter handle is @Korean Abdul Jabbar because he likes basketball. That's brilliant.
Dave is so funny. God.
For those wondering, he's in Detroit now.
I wonder.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Have we worked with people in the past who we ended up having to kind of back off from because they started getting a little sad, even if they were the ones who brought it up?
Yes.
I'm thinking Ned. Do you think Ned got sad eventually of his ears?
He never seemed to, but I got worried that
I did too.
I thought it would have been justifiable if he would have.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely stopped being as much of a jerk. I never intended it to be a jerk, but I intentionally backed up. I can think of several interns where I went, okay, too much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were discussions there.
Yeah, a time or two.
Now you feel bad, don't you?
Yeah.
It was mostly you.
It wasn't. Nope. It was everybody. I'll take some blame.
Yeah.
So will you.
Yeah.
More some than others.
Yeah, Hot Wings doesn't even learn their name. He can't. How mean can he be?
No, you can't blame
you were
me.
Here for 5 years?
I don't even remember.
No,
most
you don't
of them.
remember their name, but that's why you have that's why you take their looks right into.
Hot Wings is like, I don't know who you are, but you remind me of an intern I called Pudface.
Yes,
I would remember that.
That was me. No, I doubt it.
Yeah. Well, I do. I would remember Pube Face if he walked in the door.
Oh yeah,
I'd know him.
Absolutely.
Kurt Busch.
He's probably still sleeping in that room.
Probably.
It's Seether, country song, 97.9 GRD Rocks.